In the dead of night, the road stretched out, an inky ribbon cutting through the gloom. A lone car, its headlights two piercing eyes, navigated the path. The driver, a man of unremarkable stature, felt a shiver of unease. He wasn't alone. Murmurs whispered through the static of the car radio, indistinct yet chilling. The further he drove, the louder they grew. The words, though garbled, seemed to echo a warning. His heart pounded like a drum in his chest. The road ahead seemed endless. Suddenly the car jolted as if struck by an unseen force. The radio fell silent. The man held his breath, the only sound the thrum of the car engine. He pressed on, the road ahead more terrifying than the unknown behind. In the rearview mirror, his own face reflected back, tinged with fear. But wait, were those his own eyes staring back? A shudder rippled through him. He blinked, and the image was gone. As the road continued to unfurl, his dread deepened. Was he driving into an abyss, or was the abyss within him? The night seemed to hold its breath, the answer remaining an enigma. And so, the drive continues, the man, the car, the road, and the endless night. What lies ahead remains shrouded in mystery, an unending journey into the heart of fear. Imagine driving down a winding road shrouded in darkness and uncertainty, your heart pounding with every bump and creak of the car. The GPS, your only guide, has surrendered to the wilderness, leaving you with nothing but the dim glow of your headlights to navigate the labyrinth of trees. The road seems to stretch endlessly into the abyss, with each passing hour bringing no signs of civilization, no signs of life. The world outside your car window morphs into a twilight zone, where the rules of time and space seem to be suspended in the chilling night air. You question your sanity, as the line between reality and illusion blurs. The eerie shadows cast by the headlights, the deafening silence of the night, the feeling of being watched, they all converge into a symphony of fear. You're driving, yes, but the road seems to be leading nowhere. I was driving, or so I thought. But was I actually trapped in a never-ending nightmare? Suddenly an apparition appeared on the side of the road. At first glance it seemed to be a person, but its eyes, they glowed with an otherworldly light. A chill crept up my spine as I realized this was no ordinary traveler, this was something far more sinister. A being from a realm beyond our understanding. As the figure stepped closer, its form seemed to shift and shimmer in the dim light. It was as if it was made of shadows, constantly changing yet eerily solid. Every instinct screamed at me to flee, but I was held captive by a morbid fascination and a terror too deep for words. And then, it spoke. The voice was low and raspy, echoing through the silent night like a whisper on the wind. "You shouldn't have come here," it said, each word dripping with a menace that made my blood run cold. For a moment, we locked eyes, and I felt a sense of dread so profound it threatened to consume me. I could see my own fear reflected in those glowing orbs, a haunting mirror of the terror that gripped me. And just as suddenly as it had appeared, the figure was gone. It vanished into the darkness, leaving behind nothing but the echo of its ominous warning. I was alone once more, but the chilling memory of that supernatural encounter lingered, a ghostly imprint seared into my mind. In a blink, the figure vanished, leaving nothing but an echo of its eerie words. My car stalled, leaving me stranded in this unknown territory. Panic began to set in as I desperately tried to start the engine, but it was futile. The world around me seemed to darken even more, if that was even possible. The eerie silence was broken only by my own frantic breathing and the futile roars of my car's engine refusing to ignite. As the last glimmer of hope faded with the dying engine, the woods around me fell into an unsettling quiet. The silence was so absolute I could hear my own heart pounding like a drum in my chest. Every rustle of leaves, every whisper of the wind sent icy chills down my spine. Then, out of nowhere, a droning hum filled the air, a sound so alien and menacing it felt like it was seeping into my very soul. The hum grew louder, more insistent, vibrating through the night and shaking me to my core. Suddenly the trees seemed to come alive. Their gnarled branches reached out towards me, their shadows dark and menacing in the dim light of the moon. They seemed like grasping hands, eager to pull me into their depths. Terror gripped me, a fear so primal and raw it left me paralyzed. I was trapped, unable to move, unable to flee. A scream tore from my throat, but it was drowned out by the deafening roar of this unknown force. I blacked out. When I came to, I was back on the main road, safe and sound. There was no sign of the winding road, the menacing trees, or the supernatural figure. It was as if I'd awoken from a dreadful nightmare. But this was no dream. The terror was real, and it clung to me like a second skin. My heart still pounded in my chest, the echo of the unknown force's roar still ringing in my ears. The car was running smoothly, the GPS was back online, guiding me through the familiar terrain, yet, something had changed. I had changed. Every shadow seemed threatening, every noise made me jump. The comfort of my everyday life was tainted, colored by the haunting memory of that night. I found myself constantly looking over my shoulder, expecting to see those glowing eyes in the rearview mirror. I was safe, but the memory of that horrifying encounter, it would haunt me forever.
Under the cloak of a moonlit night, a band of friends embarks on a road trip along the infamous Route 44. Hidden in the stillness of this tranquil journey, a dark secret casts an ominous shadow. Whispers of legends, veiled in mystery and dread, echo along the desolate stretch of this road. As the friends journey deeper into the night, they encounter a series of unsettling phenomena. Shadows perform a macabre dance on the edge of their sight, while an icy dread seeps into the air. Despite their growing unease, they push on, drawn by a desire to unravel the truth lurking in the unknown. Without warning, the car gasps its last breath, the engine stubbornly refusing to come alive. A wave of panic engulfs the group as they're plunged into isolation. An attempt to reach for their lifeline, their phones, is met with the chilling reality of no signal. Stranded in the abyss of the night, they become a feast for the supernatural forces at play. In the hazy distance, a solitary street lamp flickers to life, revealing a figure standing at the roadside. The sight of the spectral apparition, clad in ragged attire and radiating an unearthly glow, steals their breath. Paralyzed with terror, they watch as the spirit extends its hands, inviting them into the unknown. With heavy hearts, they abandon their lifeless vehicle and trail the spectral guide into the consuming darkness of the woods. As they delve deeper, the forest comes alive, its twisted branches reaching out to graze their faces, while the whispers of the unseen send shivers down their spines. Their ghostly escort leads them to a secluded clearing, home to a decaying cabin bathed in darkness. Within its crumbling walls, they stumble upon the remnants of a sinister ritual. The horrifying truth unveils itself. This cabin once served as a haven for a coven of wicked witches intent on drawing unholy power from beyond the veil. Then the ground beneath them groans, pulling them into a concealed underground chamber. Here they stand face to face with the spectral forms of the tormented witches, their malicious energy threatening to engulf the living. Summoning every bit of their courage, the group disrupts the dark spell binding these vengeful spirits. Through the sheer power of their collective resilience, they shatter the eternal curse, setting the spirits free and lifting the darkness that had plagued Rehoboth. With the first rays of dawn peeking over the horizon, the group emerges from their nightmarish ordeal, forever marked by their encounter with the supernatural. Their bone-chilling adventure along Route 44 serves as a stark reminder of the thin divide separating our world from the realm of the supernatural. Their story, a true night drive horror on Route 44, will forever echo in the annals of Rehoboth's history.